The last part is, remember, you are using Pathracing, which I covered in the previous video. This is just a idea of, remember, of Pathracing. The rule is Pathracing, we're going to be using it for images, and Lumen, we're going to be using for video. So the last part is actually, we've turned on Pathracing, but it's actually adjusts the bounds and the pixels. So when we go back to Twinmotion, in each of those images, let's go to this one for example, it'll actually have a renderer option. Pathracing should be on. This is where you can get a high quality. We're going to change this to high. And when it comes to details, we're going to increase the bounces. Bounces and samples per pixel doesn't always mean it's going to be better. But what it means is that the bounces is the amount of light that's sort of being reflected from surfaces. Remember, what we're doing is light and how light reflects from objects. By increasing the bounces, what you're doing is you're allowing for light to be able to bounce in a more natural, more realistic way. But because of that, it will take longer to sort of study and analyze, right? So the higher these numbers, it does usually mean longer time. It does not always means better quality, because it really all depends on what your materials are bouncing off from. So if you have more lights, if your lights have turned on the shadows, if you have the right materials, all of these things would matter. And so even if you could say, I have my bounces and everything turned on really high, but it still does not look realistic, then you need to go back and what kind of lightings are you doing? Are the lightings helping to create more effects? Did you change the materials? Are the objects modeled in a high quality, and so on? So now that you've so go ahead and play with those, and you can see how it's taking longer, and it will take a little bit longer, as I said, because it's trying to analyze more of the room. And after that, you're ready to export, and you will simply click export, search for your image, and you can export your image as you are ready. And you should be ready to go. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.